What makes the Celtics special? Like, what is that aura that you guys have that just differentiates you from almost every other team in the NBA?
We know Boston fans are crazy, so let's get that out there.
That's
We know
part
that.
of it.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
one.
good start. It's a good start for sure. I think just like the history of the Celtics. You play in the Garden, you got all the banners up there, just the championship banners, and you have the history. You have all the like Bill Russell, Bob Cousy. Like you like, kind of feel their energy like every time you walk into the building, and playing in Boston, like everybody knows what the standard is. Everybody knows what they expect, and I think it's just having that high expectation every single year. It's motivating. It drives you, and they always are a little crazy, but they're so supportive, and it's been a lot of fun playing in Boston. Like even like a preseason game, like it's almost sold out. Like they're all there supporting us and cheering us on.
It's Kirk Herbstreit.
Oh, Sean McVay.
Kerry Walsh Jennings.
Here we got Greg Gazan.
John Isner.
Ryan Howard.
Greg McElroy.
Got Drew. Chris Sale.
Mark DeRosa.
Cade Klubnik. Derrick White.
Reese Davis.
Marty Smith.
Before we jump into today's episode, I want to tell you about Booster. If you got kids playing sports in middle school or high school, Booster is the easiest way to raise money for their team. From uniforms and equipment to travel expenses, Booster makes fundraising simple and fun for schools and sports programs. Check them out at choosebooster.com. That's choosebooster.com, or just click the link in our description to see how your team can boost their fundraising this season.
Welcome back to Pure Athlete. I am Jeff, along with Britt and Brad in studio. How we doing today, boys?
We're doing good, man. We're excited about today.
Yeah, doing
I
great.
am, man. I'm so glad. Today I'm excited to bring this guest. And, interesting enough, Britt, we did one with Chris Sale a few weeks back where we talked about, staying the course, continuing to work hard to get where you want. I'm excited because we all know this guy today as an NBA champion, an Olympic medal, all these great things. But he didn't go to Kentucky. He didn't go to UConn. He went to a Division II school in Colorado and then went and played for the Buffs at University of Colorado. Before it was cool, before Prime was there, right? Making Boulder this huge place. But I'll tell you what, I'm excited. I'm a big fan of this guy. You want to talk about defense, team player. But again, 2024 NBA champion, and is going to light it up this year. Derrick White, thank you for joining us, my man.
I appreciate all that. Happy to be here.
Oh, man. Well, first of all, just tell us, I know the season's done. You got some off time right now, but what are you up to right now?
I'm just out here in Colorado, working out, enjoying the Colorado summers and spending time with the family, staying in the gym. It's been probably the longest summer I've had in about 3 years, and so enjoyed it with the family, just messing around, just seeing a lot of different people out here, and it's been a good summer for sure.
A little different than last summer, huh?
Yeah, like the complete opposite of last summer.
Did talk a little bit about, let's go and jump into that. Talk a little about the Olympic experience. And were you a late addition? Is that right, to the team? And then your late addition, and to experience it like in Paris of all places, and seeing the videos of the basketball house and things like that. Can you just tell us a little bit about just the whole experience, what it was like?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I was just at the house, and they had just started their like training camp in Vegas. I was just kind of just relaxing, enjoying the summer. I was actually planning on going to Cabo with my wife and a bunch of my friends, and so that's like what I was doing. And then I get a call that Kawhi couldn't go, and they wanted me on the team, and I was like, this is unbelievable. Anytime you can be in the Olympics, it's special. But you look at the guys on the team and what they've done in their basketball career. I was like, I gotta go. I'm sorry I missed the trip, but I gotta go. And met up with the team in Abu Dhabi. Got a few practices under the belt, a couple exhibition games. We went to London, and just spending a lot of time with all those great players and seeing them on the court, off the court, in the training room, like what they eat. So there's a lot of stuff that these memories that I'll have forever, and my family came out there to Paris, and like I got my kids, like not even one yet. He's learning to crawl in the hotel. I got my oldest is like giving high fives to the staff and Braun. Like these are just stuff that was special. And then obviously you get to the games, and it was just a lot of fun playing with those guys. And so it was a crazy summer, a crazy couple of weeks, but unbelievable. And I think we just had the 1 year, and it kind of flew by from that year. So definitely blessed to be in that opportunity.
Well, this is a dumb question, I'll admit, but I mean, as you look back, is that the basketball experience of a lifetime? Can it get any better than that?
I don't know, like winning the championship, like you're already at all-time high.
I was going to say, maybe winning the NBA championships, that wasn't bad either.
Yeah, I think NBA championship might be my number one. But
cool. Okay.
It's probably like 1A, 1B, honestly. Yeah. And like for that to happen in like a month and a half, it was definitely special. It was a crazy like turnaround because I wasn't planning on going to the Olympics, but like winning the championship, like that's just something that you work all year for. And like the crazy thing about the Olympics is like it's like a month and then it's over. And so I think that's why the NBA championship might be a little higher in my book, but it's definitely like 1A, 1B.
You've played against these guys a lot in the NBA, but were things that surprised you about hanging out with them? Like you talked about watching what they eat, watching just kind of how they kept themselves and dealt with basketball and other things. But is there one thing that kind of stood out about, obviously, the three icons that were probably playing in their last Olympics? Is there something that really kind of stood out with you, what you learned from them?
Yeah, you kind of just see what makes them great. Like Braun's in the weight room at 5 a.m. every morning, doing what he needs to do to get his body ready and get his mind ready. Like Steph is, he's always committed to mobility and doing all these different things that, I was like, I probably should need to add that if like I want to play for how long they're playing. And then like KD, how he just loves the hoop, like just loves talking hoop, loves talking basketball, which like I knew, but you just get a deeper level of understanding of like how much he's committed to this and how much he loves the game. And so just kind of seeing off the court and then like even the practice gym, the stuff that you don't really get to see. And then you see during the games that, it's fun to be on this side of the team.
Derrick, I got to ask you, man. So I've played in the MLB for 12 and a half years, and I got thrown out of 7 games. And I'm a pretty level-headed guy. So I've been reading where Jason Tatum is railing on you. How have you never got a technical foul in an NBA game? How is that even possible? I see Draymond Green getting 6 a week.
Yeah. Early in my career, I was quiet. I didn't really say too much. But definitely in these last couple of years, I've been saying a little bit more, and I think I'm getting close. But I think Mike Conley, I read somewhere that he's never gotten a technical. He's been playing for like 15 years, so hopefully I don't get one. But if I do, hopefully I make it worth it.
And then let Jason get off your tail, man.
Yeah, I know. It was just fun, like just going back and forth, and yeah, when he told me that, I was like, that's kind of crazy to say, but it's just a funny little back and forth thing. And actually, last year, that someone got a technical, and they announced on the PA that I got a technical, and I was like, I got one, I did it. It was kind of funny,
but it wasn't you though.
No, it wasn't. Your role this year is going to obviously be huge with Jason out and with the injury and everything for you. What for you mentally? What is that kind of? Have you gone into the off season knowing you're going to have to step up and do a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. That's the exciting thing about basketball is like every summer you're like, what can I improve on? How can I get a little bit more consistent? So definitely going into this off season thinking I might have the ball in my hands more. Obviously we still have JB, we got Ant, and so we got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. And so I just really wanted to go into this off season of how can I get a little bit better? What do teams try to do to slow me down? And I think it's been a really fun off season, and I've been just looking forward to getting in the gym and keep working on that.
Well, Derrick, we could talk all day about the NBA and, it would be fun in the Olympics, but we really want to jump in and talk a little bit about youth sports because, as Jeff said in the opening, you're like a poster kid for, what we want to convey to kids in Pure Athlete. And we want you to tell your story a little bit because, growing up in Colorado and, I've read where as a freshman you were like 5'6" and didn't weigh a whole lot. And probably, a lot of people didn't think you were going to play in college, much less at the highest level at the NBA. And we want to hear all about that. So can you kind of talk a little bit about, growing up in Colorado and what sports you played? And let's just start there.
Yeah. I was always like a smaller kid. Like I hit puberty late, and so I was always like one of the skinnier kids, but played basketball, obviously, baseball, football. I played tennis in high school. Like I'm just the type of guy that I'll play any sport. Like I'll watch any sport. Like if you're ever at the house, like I have the most random stuff on. Like all summer I just watch MLB Network. Like I just like watching a lot of sports, and so I played a lot of sports growing up as a kid. But I was just kind of small, but like I was solid. I was fast. I could like use my speed and use my stuff to kind of get to where I needed to get to. But I was definitely just a small kid, but just loved to be around sports. And so just the more I stayed around it, the more I fell in love with it all. And I didn't want to do anything else. And like that's where I met my friends. That's where that's what I wanted to do, like on the weekends. And so just trying to staying around sports. And then as I kind of got older, started to hit puberty, got a little bigger, stronger. And then I eventually just went straight to basketball. But just using all those sports kind of helped me in basketball, helped me develop different skills, different way to move, how you land. There's different things throughout each sport, which I think has helped me in the game of basketball. And I still kind of use different sports in like my warm-ups to get me ready for the game. And so but yeah, I was just always a small kid, but I was just always there, always competing, trying to have fun and have the right attitude. And like my mindset was never to make it to NBA or make it professionally. It was just to have fun. And I think when I just kept doing that and just kept showing up, kept working, good things started happening for me.
You were a really good high school basketball player. But I guess I'm sure you probably played AAU and you got kind of out there to try to get yourself noticed. But was your height the one thing that people just looked at you and said, "Hey, it's like what when you talk about your recruiting process, if there was a recruiting process, like what were they saying that they didn't think you could do? Where they made it was kind of for them to make the decision not to recruit you."
Yeah, I didn't really have much of a recruiting process. Like I talked to like one JC, I talked to the NAI school, which that coach turned into the D2 school that I actually went to. And then that was it pretty much. So I had that, like I never talked to a D1. I never talked to, really I didn't really talk to any D2s until a coach went over there. It was just kind of he's a 6'1", 150-pound guard. Like you can find those anywhere. He's not that tall. He's not that athletic. I wasn't doing the stuff that and they thought was needed at a high level. I did have a pretty good senior year, and I think I did pretty well. But it was just always that he's just a dime a dozen. I remember the coach at UCCS before mine was there. They were looking at me and was like, "Oh, he's just a dime a dozen." Like you could find guards like that throughout Colorado, which was true. But so I didn't really have much of recruiting, but like it never really stopped me. I just kind of wanted to just get my foot in the door, like get into a college, because I thought like if I get my degree and play basketball, like what else would I rather do? But obviously like nobody's talking to you and you got like no offers. I was also thinking of like maybe I'll just go to college and just be a regular student. So a bunch of stuff was a lot of that was going on in my mind, but just kind of stayed in the gym. And then like when Coach Culver got the job at UCCS and asked me to really come on as like a walk-on, like I was like, of course, yeah, I'll be there. It was a great fit for me.
Well, I think you got the last laugh with a lot of those coaches now. But talk to me, because you talked about it like self-doubt sometimes, right? To talk to some of the athletes for a minute, because it's like, I'm sure you're sitting there thinking, man, nobody's calling me. Is this even worth it anymore? And I'm sure you could say, like, if you go play Division II basketball, like, you have to love playing basketball. You're not getting the glitz and glamour. And so, like, what was that like for you mentally to continue? Who were a couple of the people in your life, man, that were able to kind of keep telling you, Derek, keep going, man, keep the journey, keep the faith?
Yeah, it's definitely a tough, like mentally, when people keep doubting you and you kind of start believing it. I think that was like a big thing, like throughout my whole career. Even like when I went to D2, like I was just like, oh, I think I'm just a D2 guy. And then like an opportunity happened to D1, and I had to prove to myself again that I am a D1 guy. And I had to prove, like, every step I've gone up, like I just had to prove to myself that I belong here. Everything that I've done in the past, all the work I'm putting in is going to work out. It's gonna pay off. And if I just have the right mentality, the right attitude, the right effort, as I try to bring every day, just try to stay consistent with that, then good things will start to happen to me. But yeah, definitely that self-doubt is something that I've always dealt with, something that I continue to deal with. Like my boy hit me up like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's kind of like changed my career, I think. He was like, the way you talk to yourself is so negative. Like, you need to like work on this positive self-talk. And so I like started looking into like positive self-talk, and that's kind of like changed I think my career has really taken off since then. I've shot it better, I played better, and it's just like every day you don't talk to anybody more than you talk to yourself, and try to stay positive with that throughout everything, and just believe in yourself. And I think that's really helped my career, kind of take me to the next level.
Derek, going back to high school and, being on the smaller side, we hear from a lot of kids and a lot of parents whose kids, you can't control how big you are. And it's frustrating as a kid when you got skills, but you're looking around at other people and, they're 6 foot and you're 5'8". And I'm sure you dealt with some of that frustration. What do you say to kids? What's your message to kids who are wrestling with not being able to control those things that are out of their control?
Yeah, like it's definitely frustrating, but I think like you just really got to focus on the stuff you can control. Like I'm still like even in the NBA, like I'm not the biggest or the strongest or the most athletic, but I know I can come in and I can control how hard I play. I can control being in the right position. I can control being coachable, being a great teammate, whether things are going my way or not. And so if I could just focus on all those little things, and doing what I do well, not trying to focus on what I don't do well. Like I'm not trying to do a windmill or try to dunk on like a 7-footer. Like I know that's not what I do well. But I know I can sprint to the corner to create space for like JT, JB, let them do what they need to do, or I can like get in the stance and guard and like compete on that end. So try to just focus on what you can control, which is just your attitude, your effort, your willingness to be a great teammate. And that's just kind of how I try to take day in, day out. And then obviously putting in that work that I have the confidence that if I need to go and make a shot or make a play, like my team trusts me and I trust myself.
So this is amazing. The story is so amazing. You went from being a high school kid that didn't even get you had college debt, from what I read, that you still had college debt when you got drafted. You didn't even get a full ride to a D2 school. And then really 4 years later, you're a first round NBA draft pick. And I know you grew a lot, but like, what do you, was there a moment that you kind of said, look, where you've transformed and you said, hey, I think I can make some money playing this game, or at least I think I can play D1. And then after that, I'm able to play at the next level. Can you talk about just, was there epiphanies along the way, or was it kind of a slow growth?
I think just like slowly working on it. Like even when I was in D2, like I never thought about going D1 until like a month before I transferred. Like I didn't even think that was a thing. Like that wasn't like what my goal was. Like I was really just, when I went to UCCS, I'm like, it would be amazing if I could play like overseas. Like that'd be an amazing experience. But I think I was talking to these kids the other day, and coach asked me, when did you take over the responsibility of like getting better compared to like your parents doing it? And like I was like, oh, that's a really good question. I never thought about that. And I think it was after my freshman year at UCCS. Like I had a good freshman year. But then that summer, like it was just like my parents weren't telling me, oh, you need to get to the gym, you need to do that. Like I was like, how can I get to the gym? Like I'm calling the coaches up. I'm searching out games. I'm in the gym 2, 3 times. And that's really when I took the biggest jump, I think, from like just having like I was working hard throughout high school. Like I was doing what I needed to do. But then I think when I took control of everything and was like, all right, this is what I need to do. How can I set this up? Like, all right, I'll work out at 6, and then I'll go back at 10, and then I'll try to play against some older guys later on in the day, and just trying to stay in the gym all day. I think that's really where I took a big jump from being like even just a really really good D2 player to now eventually being a D1 player and then the NBA.
Derek, when you're talking about making that journey, right, and continue to make that jump, your parents, some coaches, like who was instrumental for you along the way, keeping that dream going, right? Because I'm sure at times, like you said, you had to get beat down to think, man, it's not possible. I can't do this anymore. Who's some people that came beside you and really helped you out?
Yeah, my parents for sure. I mean they always were there for me. They always supported me. Like I always say, like what I always try to do is like if someone has something, I try to show up, and I think I got that from my parents because whether I had a baseball game or a basketball game, like just having them there at every event that I had, no matter the time, no matter what was going on, they're always there for me and my sister, and so I think that was just a big thing for me is just always having them in my corner, always there supporting me, just doing what they needed to do to get there and just cheer me on. That was huge, and like even like when I was getting recruited in high school, like my dad knew I wanted to play in college. He was trying to send out all these highlight tapes to every D2 in Colorado, like just sending them everywhere, doing everything he could. So like then I knew like my dad believed in me. My dad wants what's best for me, and so that was big. And so yeah, my mom and my dad were always there behind me, and my sister, and so I'm just really thankful to have them as parents, and they kind of let my coaches coach me hard, and then they are always just there supporting me and just being there for me.
I love that. And I love you said something a few minutes ago, guys, and we talk about this a lot. You said, in high school, you weren't really thinking about a career in the NBA or any of those kind of things. You just were enjoying playing ball. And I think our kids today are so many of our kids are focused on, can I get here? Can I get to this next level? That they just lose the fun of the journey and enjoying the journey and letting it take them where it takes them. I'm not saying you shouldn't have goals and all that. We should, but talk a little bit more about that in your life and your experience.
Yeah, that's definitely people always come up to me as like, I'm a D2 player. Like I'm trying to get up to the D1 in the NBA, and I'm just like, that just like wasn't my mentality in that moment. Like I remember when I signed to the D2 in high school, like someone was like, "Are you just going to try to play there a year and then go D1?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just trying to go there for 4 or 5 years because I was supposed to redshirt my freshman year." And I'm like, I'm just going to go there and enjoy the experience. And they had a major I like, so I was like, I'm just going to go there and enjoy it all. So like, I think just being present, being in the moment. Like obviously you want to have big dreams, big goals, but you just got to enjoy the day to day. How hard am I going to work today? How consistent can I be in my workouts? I don't want to have one good workout and then take 3 days off and then expect to have great results. So I just try to be consistent day to day, not try to get too high, not try to get too low, and just stay in the moment. And then when the opportunity comes, you're prepared for it because you've just been consistently working that whole time. And like I'm not trying to look ahead. I'm not trying to predict the future because you never really know, and just try to enjoy where we're at.
Derrick, I mean, you're like, well, listen, there's a lot of negative talk about the transfer portal in college, but there's also some positives, like especially for kids who get under recruited. Like it's like a free enterprise system. They have a chance to move up. Like you're the perfect story. What do you think about the transfer portal, and how do you think it would have affected you, or would it have affected you, think, during your journey?
I mean, there's definitely positives and negatives. It's probably a little crazy right now, but there's definitely like some positives for sure. But I think if the transfer portal was open when I was in school, I might have left earlier. Um, like I might have left after like my freshman or my sophomore year, which who knows if that would have been like the best thing because I mean my junior year was like a big year for me development, and I think like even when I was in D2, like I had the ball in my hands every time, and like I was making the plays, I was making decisions, and just learning how to lead a team, how to help a team win. Because like my freshman year, we only won 5 games, and like I was a big reason why. Like I didn't know how to win, I didn't know how to close, and like I learned that throughout my time at UCCS. So maybe if I leave earlier, like I don't learn as much as I did for having the ball in your hands. Because you go to D1, it's a little bit different, obviously. But I do think there's like a lot of great things, and I think me transferring and then I had a red shirt that year was also big for my development, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting used to the game instead of just transferring and playing right away. But just all those little things that I had to go through, I think, kind of set me up to be able to play. Like I feel like I could play any position, I could play any role, and I think it's just because of how much I've played so many different responsibilities throughout my career.
Derek, I love what you said with talking about how the red shirt into practice, right? And we talk about it all the time now. And we had Jamal Crawford on talking about how all anybody wants to do now is play games. You go to these AAU tournaments, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. No one practices anymore. And, can you talk a little bit to kids now, maybe that are underdeveloped or not big, how big practice is just for your development and getting better?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think like that. Obviously, you need to play, you need to do things like that. But just getting like when I was redshirting, a big thing was like when the game is going on, like at most, like the best player is probably gonna take like 20 shots. So how can I beat that by not playing? So I was like, I got to get 500, I get 200, like whatever it might be that day. Like I got to do a little bit more this day because the best player is only going to get 20 shots. Like that's just how the game works. And so just having that time in the gym, spending some times on the gun, spending times just dribbling around, like doing whatever it is. So I think there's definitely a big emphasis on games and what you need to do during the game. But there's also that time you need to get in the gym and just work on your skills, try to push yourself, make those mistakes behind closed doors. So when the lights are on and you have to make a move, you feel comfortable with it.
Derek, when you were coming along, did you ever, I mean, you obviously have a passion for the game. Did that passion ever wane? Did you ever, go through times where it's like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this?
Yeah. Like there's always times where you have a bad day, you have a bad stretch, and I'm never like, oh, I don't want to play anymore, but it's just like it's just not going my way. I'm just so frustrated. You just try so hard, and you like push yourself so hard, and then you fail, and it's frustrating. But I think that's just kind of those moments where you kind of have to dig deep and keep working and keep believing in yourself. Like have those people around you to keep going. Like there was a stretch this last season where I was like, I can't make a shot. Like everything I do is wrong. Like I feel like I'm just hurting the team, and like just having like my wife around, my kids, like kind of always was like, they don't care if I make or miss right now. So like that was always a good just kind of get away from the game. But and also like Coach Joe would like come over and be like, hey, like we just need you to get that joy back. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Like it is a game. We got to have fun with it. Like obviously I want to make every shot and do everything. But I think what really separates like me is just having that joy and try to bring that joy to the team.
Can you tell us a little bit about your draft night experience and kind of just, what you were feeling and who was with you and kind of what you did?
Yeah. So the morning I got up, I worked out, and then I was like, I need to get away. Like I just need to do something different. And the Rockies were playing. I don't know who they were playing that day. But we went to the Rockies game, me and like 3 of my friends. Went to the Rockies game, kind of just had fun around there, enjoyed the game. I remember I like I was throwing pitches in the little gun thing to see how hard I would throw. think I got like 73 miles per hour. I don't know. I need to warm up or something.
Hey, Derek, it's kind of what the Rockies guys are throwing this year right now, so you might be able to play for them.
It can't be that much worse, right? But here, we got a bright future, right? That's what everybody says.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
right.
hopefully. But yeah, so I just went, got away, which was really nice with like a bunch of my friends. And then we had like a draft party set up at one of my family friend's house, and like all my family was there. I had all my coaches from when I was 4 years old to Coach Boyle was there. And I just had like a bunch of people that kind of were there with me throughout my entire journey from the beginning to the end, and got to the little draft house. I was supposed to be there at a certain time. I was late because of traffic, but and then kind of just went down to the little theater and just kind of waited for your name to get called. But it was just a lot of fun. It's definitely special having all those people around me and the people that were there for me from the beginning to the end, and a lot of people that are still around me to this day. So I was definitely thankful for that.
You know, we talk a lot, Derek, about character and humility on here. And I think you are just the perfect example of that. You would have every reason not to be humble, to be cocky because of what you've been through and overcome and where you've got. Who taught you that humility? Where did that come from?
Yeah, it got to go back to my parents. Just kind of just teach me the right way. Just kind of watching the way they went about things. I think that's like the biggest thing. Like as a parent now, I'm like he's always watching me. Like I gotta make sure I'm doing things that I'm telling them to do. And things. So I think I just kind of watch them and get to kind of just became who I am. And um, I don't think I could think of anybody else but my parents that kind of taught me that. And I mean, I was always like a shy kid growing up, and so maybe just being like that quiet, shy kid, like didn't really want to be in the spotlight. Like I still don't really want to be in the spotlight and be like if I do public speaking or something like that. I don't, please don't make me do that. But, just trying to just grow and but try to also stay who you are.
I mean, that's even, I mean, I think it's so impressive because I think you see a lot of guys that were underdogs feel like they kind of have to have that chip on their shoulder persona at all times. And it's so impressive that you take the opposite approach. Like you don't get technical fouls and you're not bringing an attitude, whether it's genuine or made up, these people, but to be a defensive stopper, to be such an intense, great defensive player, to be recognized for it, and yet not to get technical fouls is so impressive. And so I just, again, like Jeff said, it's not a question, I just a comment. I just want to commend you because it's a great role model for the kids to see that you can be super intense, super aggressive, but yet handle yourself.
Well, and you just said the word role model, and we want, Pure Athlete to provide a platform for folks like yourself to be role models for our kids. Yep. And you do that day in, day out. So we do want to recognize that and appreciate that. So kudos.
Are you going to be are you going to be ready for that journey when your kids start playing, man, when they get rolling?
Yeah, I'm excited. My kids are 3 and 1 right now, so I'm definitely excited for that part of it. But I think I found your guys' page on IG, and I remember I was just watching a bunch of videos, and like I texted my parents. I was like, I want to thank you for how you guys raised me.
Wow.
And then I texted my boy who just had a kid. I'm doing the podcast with. He just had a kid too, around my second kid's age. And I'm like, bro, watch this. It was really making me think about how I want to parent. How can I be the best parent for them? How can I support them? And how can I kind of teach them how to do things the right way? So it was it was really deep. I was I was sending me and my boy talking about it for a while. It's just a kind of different way of thinking. How am I going to be a parent? How can I support? And how can I put them in the best situation to succeed and to have fun? Because that's really the important part.
Man, we're honored.
Yeah, we're honored to have a little part in that. Sounds like your parents really did a great job and set a great example on the things you emulate. You just talked about you've got a podcast. Tell us about your podcast.
Yeah, we started a podcast, White Noise. I don't know. My boy was well, one of our friends came to us. He's like, you guys would be amazing on a podcast together. You guys always have a good time. And And like at first we're like, yeah, you know, or whatever, like, and then like just the more he talked about it, and we're like, I mean, we do it anyways. Like we're just gonna be sitting around talking anyway, so we might as well just kind of go for it. And like we're having a lot of fun with it. We only done like a couple episodes, but it's been a lot of fun so far. And we don't really have a plan or know where this is going to go, but I think that's just the fun, exciting part about it. And this is like a fun way to connect with the fans and just kind of just tell our story.
Yeah, they were like, if those old guys on Pure Athlete can have a podcast, and they've been around for 3 years, I mean, how hard is it? How hard is it to do this? I mean,
Derrick, be careful. I didn't know what I was going to do. Now I'm hanging out with these old guys for 3.5 years, man.
Yeah, the good thing we're going to age out probably, but you got some time. Like you got plenty of years ahead of you, you know, and so, but that's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have a great head on your shoulders to coach your kids and understanding, man, and that is like, that's the key. You know, we had Sean McVay on about a month ago, you know, the football coach of the Rams, and he actually was taking notes while we were talking because he has a little boy who's 2 now. And I promise it'll happen like that, man. Like I said, I got 4 practices tonight with all the kids, and it's a blast. But I love, again, finishing up here, I love what you talked about because your parents let you own your journey. And we talk a lot that time and time again on here was like the kid has to develop the passion for what they're doing. And there's no doubt for you to continue to drive the way you did in high school and to continue to have that drive to want to play Division II, then go to Colorado. And next thing you know, you're literally a first-round pick in the NBA draft. And it's like, I mean, that is a story of persistence because you don't get there if you don't care. And so, again, this isn't a question, but I just commend you on your commitment to drive yourself to be great. And like I said, now look what you're doing, man. It's pretty awesome.
I got a question. So you were drafted by the Spurs, right? And then you get traded to the Celtics. And just what makes us? There's just certain franchises, there's certain colleges, what makes the Celtics special? Like what is that aura that you guys have that just differentiates you from almost every other team in the NBA?
We know Boston fans are crazy, so let's get that out there.
That's
we know
part
that.
of it.
Yeah,
that's
a good start. It's a good start for sure. I think just like the history of the Celtics. You play in the Garden, you got all the banners up there, just the championship banners, and you have the history. You have all the like Bill Russell, Bob Cousy. Like you like kind of feel their energy like every time you walk into the building, and playing in Boston, like everybody knows what the standard is. Everybody knows what they expect, and I think it's just having that high expectation every single year. It's motivating. It drives you, and they always are a little crazy, but they're so supportive, and it's been a lot of fun playing in Boston. Like even like a preseason game, like it's almost sold out. Like they're all there supporting us and they're cheering us on, and so just to have a fan base like that that's always pushing you, driving you, and the standard has been set from the legends before, and we're just trying to uphold that and to continue to push our own legacy in there.
Well, it's pretty special, but in fairness, you came from San Antonio. They got a little bit of history as well. You played for Pop. What was that like playing for him?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was a great way for me to start my career. I learned so much on the court, off the court, like how to be professional. Obviously, like San Antonio was unbelievable. And I think the cool thing about San Antonio is like all the legends like Tim, Manu, Tony, like they're still around. So you can still like pick their brains, and like I was lucky enough to have Manu. Manu's last year was my rookie year.
Wow.
So just being able to watch him and what makes him special, like as a teammate, as a player, they just kind of learned how to play the right way, how to make the right play. I always said like the big thing there is like simple works. Like I come into the NBA, I'm like, I need to do 5 dribble moves. I need to do a lot of different things. And they're like, no, simple works. Like just catch and drive, like just catch and shoot. Like you don't need to make it too complicated. And like hearing that as a young player, and I'm like, oh, that kind of fits like what I want to do anyways. Just keep it simple. Just make the right play, be in the right position, and play defense, and then it can lead to amazing things.
Those are two pretty good stops along the NBA path there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Derrick, man, we appreciate you joining us today. My last question for you is first week. I'm going to watch every game y'all play on primetime. Can we get a technical foul and just get this thing over
No,
with? First week,
don't
man.
listen to him. Don't listen to him.
It'll make me feel better
No.
about myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Or do it in the
We've been 8
preseason.
years
Get
strong.
one in the preseason game.
Hey, does that count? Does that count to get preseason tech?
100%. I got thrown out of a spring training game one time in 2014.
Jeff, you're hurting the
Maybe I'll try it.
you're hurting the brain. We're asking him we're thanking him for being a role model, and you're trying to take him away from that journey. Come on now. I mean,
No.
you don't be like Jeff.
We can do both. We can do
Jeff got thrown out on Easter Sunday.
I got thrown out
nothing
on
else we
Easter
can say.
Sunday. You're right. My mom and my wife still haven't forgiven me for getting thrown out on Easter Sunday.
That's funny.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, we wish you the best of luck. You're a heck of a role model for everybody watching this and the way you play the game. And all kidding aside, I know you're gonna step up this year, man. And I know you've had great years, but that team's gonna need you. And you got 3 fans here, and I know a lot of people are gonna be following you, man.
For sure. And good luck with the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to check out more videos from us right here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing. Follow us on social media at Pure Athlete Inc. for even more content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.